Hey, what's up nerds? In today's video, I'm going to be going over my top 5 builds for killer in Dead by Daylight. Keep in mind, these are just my opinions, as what could be considered the best is completely suggestive. Also, unlike Survivor, not all killers are the same, so I made these builds trying to consider all killer strengths and weaknesses and just made well-rounded builds that anyone could use. Starting off with our first build, which is an all-around passive slowdown build. This build is just made to provide the most slowdown possible by you just playing the game normally. The perks consist of Jolt, Corrupt Intervention, Scored Hook, Pain Residence, and No Way Out. Jolt is the most flexible perk and can pretty much be replaced with any slowdown of your choice. But sticking to the build that I did, what Jolt does is after downing a survivor with a basic attack, any generator within 32 meters of you loses 8% of its progress. It will also continue to digress until a survivor taps the gen to stop it. The second perk, Corrupt Intervention, locks off the 3 furthest generators from you. The gens will continue to be locked for 120 seconds or until you down a survivor. This perk is really strong since most survivors spawn on gens furthest from you anyway, so it forces them to come closer without them being able to gen rush you at the start. Next perk, Scourge Hook of Pain, and what this perk does is there's special hooks that are highlighted in white, and when survivors are hooked there, the most progressed generator loses 25%. This perk has recently been updated, so there's 4 tokens, and for each unique survivor hooked on the Scourge hooks, it takes away a token until you have 0 and then the perk deactivates. It's really strong to combo this perk with perks like Jolt. Now moving on to the final perk, which is No Way Out. What this perk does is it locks the exit gates the moment a survivor tries to interact with it. The perk starts off by locking exit gates by default for 12 seconds, but as you hook each unique survivor, it adds an extra 12 seconds for each token. This is insanely powerful as endgame survivors are barely hanging on by that point, and perks like DS and Off the Record are disabled. Also, in this build that I created here, there are 3 Teachables that you're going to have to upgrade specific killers to Prestige 1 to unlock it across all killers. The perks I'm talking about are Corrupt Intervention, Scourge Hook of Pain, and No Way Out. Corrupt belongs to Plague, Scourge Hook belongs to Artist, and No Way Out belongs to Trickster. On to our second build, which focuses more on kicking gens and being in control on what gens you want to protect and degress. It has a little bit of aura reading as well, so we'll be able to see survivors hiding by these generators. The perks you're going to need for this build are Overcharge, Call the Brine, Pop Goes the Weasel, and Nowhere to Hide. Overcharge activates by kicking a generator, making it start degressing at 85% to 130% over a 30-second period. There will also be a difficult skill check that the survivors will have to hit after tapping this gen, and if they miss it, they lose an extra 4%, and there's a noise notification for you. Next perk is Call of Brine, which is also activated by kicking a generator and makes it degress at 125% normal speed. It will also notify you if a survivor hits a good skill check on the gen by making a loud noise notification. Also, for those who don't know, yes, Overcharge and Call of Brine do stack, and you can have anywhere from 210 to 255% digression. Now moving on to Pop Goes the Weasel, which has recently been buffed. This perk activates after hooking a survivor and is active for 45 seconds. When you kick a gen within that time, it will lose 30% of its current progress. Final perk to this build is Nowhere to Hide, and this perk once again activates when kicking generators. It shows auras of the survivors within 24 meters of you for the next 5 seconds. This makes it where tapping the generator after you kick it is basically impossible for the survivors, as you'll just see them unless they have the perk Distortion to hide from your aura. All of the perks are Teachables. Overcharge belongs to Doctor, Call of Brine to Onryo, Pop Goes the Weasel to Clown, and Nowhere to Hide belongs to Knight. Third build is amazing for shredding through pallets and also provides some strong passive slowdown. The perks for this build are Jolt, Spirit Fury, Enduring, and Scourge Hook, Pain Residence. Jolt we went over before, just like Scourge, and they both provide passive slowdown by Jolt taking away 8% progress after a basic attack, and Scourge takes 25% away for each unique survivor hooked on the silly hooks. Now for the 2 perks we haven't gone over yet, Enduring and Spirit Fury. Starting off with Spirit Fury, which activates once you break 2 pallets, making it to where the next time you are stunned, the pallet will instantly break. This is insanely strong comboed with the perk Enduring. Enduring makes it to where when you are stunned by a pallet, it is 50% less stun time. These two comboed off each other makes it where when you're stunned by a pallet, it is a free hit or free down. Best way to go about it is when you're about to get pre-dropped by a survivor to swing towards the pallet, forcing the stun. This build is even stronger when used on killers with pallet shredding ability, like Bubba or Oni for example. 3 Teachables are used in this build. Scourge is an Artist perk, Enduring is a Hillbilly perk, and Spirit Fury is Spirit's perk. The fourth build, which is one of my favorite builds, especially for those who love playing Legion. This build maximizes the killer's volt speed potential, allowing you to shut down a window and volt extremely fast, getting free hits. The perks used in this build are Jolt, Superior Anatomy, Bamboozle, and Scourge Hook of Pain. Jolt and Pain Res are being used again as they create great synergy with each other. You can replace these 2 slowdowns with any of your choice, just these are my personal favorite as they provide passive slowdown and don't make me have to change my playstyle. I could just focus on chase. Quick breakdown again though. Jolt, down somebody basic attack, 8% lost on generators. Scourge, when hooked on glowy hooks, 25% of the most progress gen lost. So on to the actual 2 new perks, Superior Anatomy and Bamboozle. Starting off with Superior Anatomy, when a survivor does a fast vault within 8 meters of you, this perk activates, and the next time you vault 40% faster. It then goes on a 30-second cooldown. This 40% extra vault speed works amazing alongside Bamboozle, which gives you an extra 15% vault speed for a total of 55%, and blocks off the most recent window you vaulted. It's great for a killer like Legion, since Legion can already vault so fast, and survivors will constantly be injured, so being able to have that vault and free hit, instead of a free injure, now you just get a free down. It's also great for killers with insta-kill potential, like Bubba for example. The teachables used in this build are Superior Anatomy, which belongs to Wesker, Bamboozle to Clown, and Scourge to Artist. The final build I'm going to be over can be changed to any way that suits your playstyle. The way to do this build is to bring 2 slowdowns of your choice and 2 aura reading perks of your choice. My specific example to this is No Way Out, Nowhere to Hide, Lethal Pursuer, and Pain Res. I know, shocker, Pain Res again. What can I say? It's just an insanely powerful perk that provides passive slowdown. No Way Out, in this case, I kind of brought it to mix it up instead of bringing Jolt again. What the perk does is, exit gates are locked for 12 seconds base, but for each unique survivor, it adds 12 extra seconds. Nowhere to Hide, after kicking a gen, anyone within 24 meters of you has their aura shown for 5 seconds. Lethal Pursuer shows the aura of all survivors in the first 9 seconds of the match. It also adds 2 extra seconds to any aura reading perk or add-on. So in this case, Nowhere to Hide lasts usually 5 seconds, but in this case now will last 7 seconds. Final perk, Scourge Hook Pain Residence, which we've went over plenty. A hook's glowing, you hook them there, you lose a token, but the most progress gen is lost by 25%. All of these perks are teachables. No Way Out belongs to Trickster, Nowhere to Hide to Knight, Lethal Pursuer to Nemi, and Pain Res to Artist. But yeah, that's going to do it for this build showcase. If you made it this far, I would really appreciate it if you could leave a like and subscribe if you are new here. Also, if any of you have any specific killer builds you would like to suggest, please feel free to let me know in the comments. I also have a video just like this, but for Survivor, where I showed my 5 favorite and what I find to be the best Survivor builds. I'll make sure to show it at the end of the video, so that way if you would like to see that video as well, you can feel free to click it. Thank you guys so much for watching. See ya.